Today, as we end off this season of Sisterly Stories, I proudly introduce you to Charel Perera. Charel is a very resilient young woman, a brave woman. She's a mother, a wife, and a business entrepreneur. Today, she shares with us her story of braving through her childhood trauma. She was determined to take control of her life. She was determined to rise against all odds. When Maya Angelou spoke about a phenomenal woman, she was definitely speaking about Charel Perera, because she is a woman phenomenally. Today, I hope that you are encouraged by her story as she shares some of the practical steps that she took in order to help her to take control of her life. They were simple steps, but clearly they are powerful steps because they have helped her to take control of her life. Charel decided that she needed to take control of her life, not just for herself, for her family, but most importantly, for her kids. I trust that her story will inspire you to take control of your life. The ball is in your hands.
Having traumatic experiences as a child, as an adult, you carry it with you for the rest of your life. The thing is though, when a child experiences goes through trauma, it makes it extremely difficult for them as adults to be very functional in society, to have a sense of stability. And I can only share my story with you. And I am one of those children who had experienced some trauma as a child. I carried with me hurt for a very, very long time. Hurt, anger. I had even misplaced my emotions so many times, like it was not directed at the right people sometimes. And it's funny, but I don't think that, when you go through that you push your anger towards anyone. That's why there's counseling. But I did not know how to cope with half of what I was going through. And that was because I did not understand what I was feeling. It was so hard to always communicate what it was that I had felt. It was so difficult for me to just wrap my brain around everything because I was very, very focused on that fire that was blazing in me. And that fire wasn't that good fire that fuels your life. It's that fire that's destructive. And I did not realize that I was self-destructing. I did not realize that I was doing a little bit of harm to the people that I was around. And I had to take a step back. I really, really had to take a step back and analyze and look at my life through naked eyes. And I had to sit and be completely honest with myself. Because I was not about to lose my family. I was not about to lose the really significant relationships in my life. Because I could not get a hold of what was happening in here and in here. And though I have really loving, caring people in my life and who tries their best to understand, it's hard. It's hard because the battle is not with them. The battle is with you. It's within here. It's up here. That's where the battle is. And so, like I said, I had to just take a step back and look and be like, okay, Charel, like, what's going on? And I've read books. I've watched shows, but none of that can truly prepare you for when you are ready. When that time comes, you will feel it. You are going to feel it. It's so inexplicable because there's no words for it really. You're just going to feel it, you're just going to know, and you're going to take the necessary steps in the right direction. And so, for me, my children helped me along the way because I knew that I had little human beings now looking at me and depending on me, and I can't just fly off the handle when and how I want to. So my children saved my life. At the same time, it was added pressure because when you have that imbalance of emotions and you bring a child into the mix of it, a child has an imbalance of their emotions too. They don't know how to express themselves really well. That's why they cry a lot. That's why sometimes when they're angry, they cry. Or I know for my daughter, I can say when she gets overexcited, like over happy, she gets really emotional. And that's fine, to be emotional, but that was kind of how I had to relate to it. I had my kids, and I knew that these children could not properly express themselves. And then I look at myself and I said, Char, like, yikes, you're kind of like that too, So I had to try my best to find a balance. And my balance was kind of how my kids dealt with it. They had days when they cried and they had days when they championed through it. And that was what I had to do. I had to champion through a lot of stuff. And championing through it meant I cannot continuously be breaking down in front of my kids. Because they want to know what happened to mommy. Like, why are you crying, mom? Why are you feeling like this? Why are all your emotions has been awakened? Because that's what happens to me. I cry a lot. And so, I just had to take a minute and say, I had to be honest and do some serious self-searching. And one of the things that I write down, I did not bring my journal with me, but one of the things that I write down is every day I write 10 things that I'm grateful for. 10 things. One of the things that I look forward to every day, as simple as it sounds, is my husband making me coffee. He makes the best coffee to me, or he makes my coffee the best. But I look forward to it, and that starts my day with balance. I'm not kidding. I don't know how it happened, but it's true. It gives me a sense of balance. And without fail, every morning, as long as there's coffee in the house, he ends up making me coffee. And it's awesome. And so, it was those little things that I had to look at and find in the day that felt so good. Just standing in the yard, the breeze is blowing, the sun is out, hearing the birds chirp, sometimes even the sound of a horn. I had to find the very little things to help me get through. And the more I started looking for things to be grateful for, the happier I became. And the funny thing is that it started to go away a little bit. I didn't think about it as much because I was so busy looking and finding all of these things that I was so excited about and I was thankful for every day, that all of that experience that I had kept feeling, all of that hurt and all of that anger that I had bottled up inside me for such a long time, little by little, they started to go. They started to leave. It never leaves you. Trauma never leaves you, but you have to find ways to deal with it. And my way of dealing with it was just really, really becoming extremely conscious with everything that I was doing, the things that I was seeing, the stuff that I was smelling, the things that I'm touching. It made me, I had to become extremely conscious. And it makes you grounded. It brings you back to solid ground, because sometimes our minds are really all over the place, and then we go into an experience of nothing, or we go back to the experience of the past. It's like what Eckhart Tolle said in one of his books, is that there is no, there really isn't a future as such. And what he meant when he said that was that we have to keep living in our moments. We have to keep enjoying our moments. We have to keep being conscious of what's going on around us. Because if we keep looking back in the past, we're going to be missing out of so many things that's happening for us now. If we keep looking for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and keep working towards the next thing and the other thing, and we need to get this degree and do this and do that and have kids, get married, we keep missing out all these little things that we have right in front of us. So for me, I had to, I followed that, and I followed through with it, and I tell you, it transformed my life. It transformed my life. Like I said, it created a chain reaction, and it brought out the best in me. It really did. I am 100%, if not more, happier than I used to be. And I must say that I contribute a lot of that to just being present. I hope this helps.